Welcome everyone to Let's Play Armored Warfare with Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo. It's been a little bit since I've actually been able to sit down and do a Let's Play video, or even a video that I didn't have somebody doing, well, being my surrogate speaker. I've done a couple of Wednesdays and scheduled an Ask Sandy and just didn't get them out. My surgery took a turn for the worse. That's something that happened last Tuesday when I came close to dying. Evidently, when I went away on a corporate event, which was just 2 weeks and 1 day after surgery, I received a hug from one of my bosses, 2 levels above me, actually 3. And when he hugged me, he kind of shoulder bumped me right in the throat, accidentally. He didn't really see the scar because the scar was healing a little bit better than what you would have imagined. And he bumped me with enough force to kind of separate the trachea right along the wound, but not much, just enough to perforate it a little bit. Now that's very bad, because when that happens, your lungs and your throat and all that they have bacteria in them. There's bacteria in your saliva and your mucus, and your lungs, your respiratory system, that whole area of your body is actually built to take care of it with cilia and mucus to move the bacteria out. Well, when this perforation happened, bacteria got into the wound from the inside, festered, became an infection, went back into my throat and my lungs, and became probably the beginnings of pneumonia. My body fought off the infection in my lungs, the perforation sealed, and the infection still festered inside of my neck along the wound. A week ago Monday, I woke up and had a little bit of a bulge on my neck. By the end of the day, it was about twice the size of an avocado pit. Tuesday, I went to the hospital, talked to a doctor, and was put on massive doses of antibiotics, and then told I'd probably have to have surgery again. The surgery probably won't happen for about a month because the infection has to be eradicated before they're willing to work on that area again, so we don't just go through this vicious cycle of infection and surgery. But the surgery is actually to remove stitches that are no longer needed, including a titanium suture. All right, so that's where I'm at. But all of this not doing anything gave me the opportunity to play some games. And, Obsidian they had no problem offering me up a huge patch to Armored Warfare, which introduced quite a number of things, specifically Tier 10 tanks. And I was able to play enough, not to get a Tier 10 tank, but to decide which Tier 10 tank I want. Well, which two? I have a Challenger Tier 9, so I'm definitely going to be getting the Challenger Tier 10. But I was looking at the rest of the tanks, and although the Leopard and the XM8 and other tanks will be on my list because, like in Star Citizen, I'm just a shipaholic. In this case, I'm a tankaholic. I want to have them all. I decided PL01 because a light tank has, it's exciting to play. You never know what's going to kill you when you're going to die, and you'll see that here in this first match. What was going on in this first match is I was trying to shoot the video for you all, and I hadn't really recorded anything before this, and my replays got turned off for some of my best games. Here I am in the XM8, which was a prototype tank that was supposed to have replaced the Sheridan back in the 1990s. Back then it was called the XM8 Beaufort, and it was a mobile gun platform or armored gun platform, essentially for light infantry, or specifically for the 82nd Airborne and for the Marines. They need a tank that can follow them into action, because a tank is more precise than, say, close air support being done by the Marine Corps or Air Force or Army aircraft. So they had this whole program, and in 1996, for some reason, the program was just canceled. The company that was building this was still trying to shop it around. They were trying to replace the aging Stingrays of Thailand with it, and nobody picked it up. So was the demise of the XM8. Now this is an XM8, but it's kind of a hybrid in the game because the armor that you see on it now is actually an armor package that would be available today. There's 3 armor packages today. I believe that the tank is 19.5 tons, 21.5 and 23.5. I may be wrong with those, but at 19.5 it could be carried by something like a C-130 into battle and deployed and even airdropped into action. The other 2, even though they're just a few tons more, require that it would have to be carried by a C-17. So the XM8 disappeared, and that was, like I said, called the Beaufort, and the M8 came into play. The M8 started to see a revival, or I should say increased interest, in 2013, when again the Army was looking for that more precise vehicle to follow their troops into action. Specifically, now that we're fighting these anti-terrorism battles throughout the world, we need to have that closer support. But the actual tank changed over time. So back in the 90s, the armor that it had was more than capable of dealing with most of what they thought infantry was going to be using against it. But that isn't the case today. Infantry have a wide assortment of very good handheld weapons. Now you see how weak the XM8's armor is there, as in my first match I have died. So the M8 Thunderbolt is coming into play again, and it will be a player in the next competition for a replacement of the Sheridan. And in this situation, it's going to be called the M8 Thunderbolt. There are things that need to be done to the M8, and possibly an entirely new tank, kind of like the PL-01 from Poland and Britain, might be chosen. Not that one specifically, but something along the lines that would look like that and work like that. But the XM8 would have to be upgraded with a better gun, anti-missile defenses, and better armor, and better engine, and of course better electronics. So that's something that we look forward to in the future. But here in War Thunder, the M8 and XM8, right now I just have the XM8, is a light tank. And a light tank is your spotter. A light tank is your go and reset the cap. A light tank is your scout, which scout and spotter I guess are the same thing, so that would be redundant. But this tank is amazing to play because you can just get across the board, across the map, very quickly and be able to help out some friends that might be in need, reset a cap, like I said, take out Artie, go get a, in the games I've been playing the last 2 days, this doesn't happen, maybe go get a secondary. Now, you'll see me playing more aggressively these days because of that new consumable to the right on the bottom that costs 25,000 credits. It essentially, if you hit it before you die, restores all health and weapons, and I think it's a fair bit less if you die and you use it. Yes, you could use it if you die. It only works in PvE. If it worked in PvP, that would be bad. But it only works in PvE. So here we are, playing in this horrible map. I mean, this is just my least favorite because people just go in all different directions, and you're going to see me go and help out a team member really quickly. And when I'm in the same situation that you're going to see me run across the map and help out, people don't come help me. So let's just go and see how this one takes place. Again, we have quite a bit of camo, but not a ton of it. I mean, you kind of think you do, but for some reason, when you think you're hidden in a bush or in a tree or behind a rock, people are firing at you. In fact, there's been quite a number of times where I've actually been shot through a rock, which still happens occasionally. Most of the shooting through that AI gets to shoot through hard emplacements is gone in the game. It still happens in a couple of maps, but most of them are gone. In this one, I would say I haven't found anything that's really bad in that direction. But here we are trying to control this ridge. We're making sure that we don't stay in one place because Artie is Artie is just all over us in this game. And we are just going to try our best to lock down this ridge, because if we can and keep these people contained down below, we can pretty much start moving towards the cap and start clearing up the people on the other end of the map. So we're getting our fair number of kills here, getting lots of damage, putting things into tanks, and of course having a fair number of bounces at the same time. Ooh, and we took a really big one there. So this challenger goes around trying to get in and misses, so I decide I'm going to push past him. I mean, this was rude and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I just was getting tired of this guy because he had hit me once, so I did what most light tanks do great. I tried to run around his side faster than his turret could turn and hit him in the side or the back to take him out. I usually do that when there's only 1 or 2 shots left, because normally I can actually hit that tank twice, like a Challenger, not an XM1, but a Challenger or a T90, before he can turn his turret 180 degrees. Alright, so we're going to continue to take out some of the APCs over here, and then, I don't know what it is that called my attention to this. I've got to drink tea when I'm doing this because it's the only thing that keeps my voice going. Alright, so we're going to look for a shot here. We got the APC. Well, it's not really an APC. It's more like us, a scout tank. I hit him again. It looked like we missed him. I guess the lag there was helpful to me. Alright, we have no shots here, but we could take this guy out. Fire. And now, for some reason, I hear that these guys are having some issues down to the left. So we're going to go to the northeast side of the map and try to lock it down, because at this particular point, we've gotten the southeast side of the map locked down pretty well. So I'm going to take out this last secondary so we at least get these points. Well, that wasn't the last secondary. Somebody else will take that out momentarily. And we're going to start taking some shots into the guys that are trying to surround our 2 players up in the northeast. I'm going to lose a boatload of health, but these fuel tanks, which are non-destructible, are going to become a very big help to me. And so is that 25,000 credit consumable. So, now one thing to say is that although you have all this explosive reactive armor, it's really good against shaped charges and probably against infantry, infantry used weapons. But it's not really so good against Sabo or APC rounds. So what we're going to find is that we're going to get owned in this match. And you're going to see it very quickly happen. We're going to start taking some shots. We already used that consumable. This guy comes around, takes care of him. Now we're going to put some shots here. I think that's the same challenger that I was rude to before, and I really wish I could apologize to him. Alright, here we go. I'm going to start taking this guy out up here. And again, we only have a 105mm gun, so we don't have the greatest penetration. Oh boy, why did we take that shot? Take this one. Okay, good. And myself and the challenger are working together here, and now this is where these Quonset huts, I'm going to call them Quonset huts, start becoming my best friends. Because I have tanks coming from around this side, and I really need to have some extra spaced armor, and that's what I'm going to use these Quonset huts for. At first, I didn't realize that they were non-destructible, so we get out this first guy, and now we're going to start seeing our nemesis here, the thing that could take us out the quickest, which is a, I did use my consumable. Wow. So we throw out some smoke. We're already down to about 33% of our health. This is not good. We now have people behind us, in front of us. I'm going to bounce a shot here. Bounced it right off his top. I'm going to realign the shot and put it Ooh, bounced it again. I forgot I lost 2 on this one. So realign the shot, push us out just a little bit more, find that sweet spot. Come on, find that sweet spot. Right there, and fire, and take him out. Okay, good. So now we have 2 Terminators. They are our arch nemesis. Here's one. Let's see if we can take him out. Okay, we got him right here. So we put one into him. And now we put the Quonset huts to work. Let's go around the side. This one over here. Oh, we bounced one, but, well, we didn't bounce it. We buried it in his tracks. Take this guy out. Ooh, right off the side of him. I think I was getting a little anxious because I felt like I was being surrounded, but after I started getting a couple of these guys down, things started going better my way. Now, we've already lost 2 team members, so things are going to go south real quick if I don't get myself protected here. There we go. Taking out that guy was instrumental in our survival. And now we have a couple around this side. Get it right in the ammo rack, so he's going to have a reduced reload time now. Ooh, just took a big hit. We're down to about 15%, 20% of our hit points. Can we get another one in him? That's the question. I think somebody else is going to take him out. Let's see. Yes, he's taken out. So now, can we put one in this guy? No. Let's wait and see. Patience is a virtue. He's going to come around this rock, and we could put a couple into him. Oh boy, we have a ton of damage, don't we? Another one. Okay, and he's gone. Now, that leaves us a clear opening to get into the cap and end this game. Now, there probably was still a Artie left, and I probably should have run across the map to get that Artie. The Artie would have been, I believe, in the southwest corner. For some reason, I just decided not to do that. Alright, so this is the XM8-1, or XM8. It is a really good tank, and what you want to do is use your speed and your maneuverability and your concealment. You want to get across the map as quickly as you can, find a place that has good cover and concealment, and start hitting the enemies from there. You don't get anything to designate targets for your team. What you get is the ability to put damage in on a team. Think of this if you play MMOs as a mage, only with not such high DPS weapons. This is definitely a support tank, and it is the tank that would be hopefully getting the most spots. It's the tank that hopefully would be getting the most assists. Well, guys, that's my XM8 video. I hope you liked it, and, well, I was told to keep talking, so I'm going to do these videos, and hopefully in the end, I can get my voice back. So let's go see the... Well, we're going to hopefully see the screen at the end of this. So we have the victory sign here. The XM8 is in the Sheridan dealership, and it has some great tanks in it, the Sheridan. And some people don't like it. I did exceedingly well in the Sheridan. I did amazingly well in the Beglide Panzer, and the 2 Stingrays were just amazing for me. Well, guys, I think we're going to call it here. And look at that, 6,233 damage, 162,000 credits, and number 2 on the team, right behind a tier 9. Wow. So not bad at all. And folks, thank you for watching and listening. Don't forget to comment below, click the thumbs up button if you like it, and with that said, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.